Hello.
Hello, hi guys, welcome back to Travel Troubles. This is the 10th episode.
This is knackered and I'm tired.
Yeah, if you're watching, this is your first time watching, well,
Go back
can watch
like a
another
couple
one.
weeks where we're,
a little bit more excited.
alive and not bogged down by the day-to-day life.
And if you watched this last week, you'll kind of know why we are like this.
We're on day
6
of 9.
It's something worse about working for 6 days straight, right? Yesterday we were working, obviously 5 days straight, and we got to that stage and I felt more tired than I normally do after a 5 day straight.
Because we knew we had more coming. Whereas normally we finish a Sunday night and we're done for 2 days. Normally we're finished filming this on a Tuesday when we've already been well rested on the Monday. But we're filming it on the Monday having had work the last 5 days.
Yeah, so
6 days, technically. I'm finished for today. You're not.
we can't film it tomorrow because we don't have any time other than after 9 p.m. together tomorrow because of our schedules, me working, you working. But we're filming right now and you're getting a podcast, whatever this one is.
And you're still going to have to introduce it. Go on, Sean.
This is Travel Travels.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, I thought I'd done that already.
You're Sean, I'm Holly.
Yeah, I'm Sean.
How you're not even getting Ollie?
Ollie.
Ollie's not here. Holly is here. Holly is tired.
And it's been so let's give you a recap of our week.
We travelled to and from the kitchen and the dining room
I don't
of our
actually
workplace.
think that I've been outside other than, where the bins
Travelling
are at work.
travelling to and from our workplace.
I haven't. Have you been outside at all? Like outside?
I stand out the front sometimes of the hotel, but not out of the compound of the hotel. I've not been outside of the hotel walls.
This is a great travel podcast this week. So I've been outside and went via the bins.
Sean went via the bin.
Actually, no, I went into the car park once because it was stormy and it looked pretty cool, and I thought I'd have a nice get a picture of the mountains.
It's been crazy weather
But
here again.
It was dark and it was a very good picture.
Yeah, the weather's been insane again.
Yeah, it's stormy at the moment.
Big time. The wind is it's just coming out of nowhere, and even people who have lived here for 25 years are like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been tiring, but it's a week of sacrifice for potentially 5 days off.
Yes, and next week's going to be a good one to record. So this one's going to be a down week, and next week's going to be a good week. So let's give you we can actually tell you what we're looking forward to next week, can't we, on this podcast?
We're
First
going
time in
home.
ages.
Well, we're going to my home.
Yeah, you're going home.
Yeah.
And home is Glasgow sort of
and
area.
the surrounding area. I'm not going to tell you where I live. That's a bit strange. Even though some of your family, some of your friends, there's some weirdos on the internet that are probably seeing this. If you are.
Are you including
I'm from Glasgow.
You are including my family in this, aren't you? The weirdos.
I normally just call them Southern, but I get in trouble for that. So.
Yeah, so we're going up to Glasgow and we're probably going out somewhere to eat. We're going for a
My friend's 30th.
Yeah, birthday party.
Yep.
We also are going to see
Busted.
which
It's
is
the 20th
20th
anniversary of the original concert, so you've seen them 20 years ago.
So that was my first ever concert, was Busted, and we're going
Mine
to...
was McFly. No, mine was Steps.
I remember seeing Busted and McFly was one their warm-up, I believe, or something like that.
It would have been,
Yeah. That was the same. I think I watched them a couple of times, Busted. I went I was a big fan. I had the chain and everything. You remember the Grebo chain? Do you have Grebos up in Scotland?
Yeah, but I don't think we would call them Grebos.
Was kind of before emos, but after goths.
Like the big wide baggy trousers and
like punk sort of. Yeah, that was kind of...
the in between kind of phase.
I also had the shirt. You know, the shirt with the fire on it.
The Guy Fieri
And
shirt.
Then the hairstyle where you stick your front of your hair up. The in betweeners, Simon from In Betweeners.
Yeah.
I had that hairstyle for a bit.
I always think Simon's hair points down in like little points, like English chav, not straight up.
He does. He has a lick, doesn't he? Yes.
Yeah, he has a cow's leg. Yeah, but I always imagine it in my head as the little like
That's
Burberry
more the
wearing
modern version, isn't it? I think.
Ned.
Yeah, yours.
Ned, Chav,
Ned, Chav,
whatever you want to call it.
Bogan.
Bams.
Trying to think of any others. Yeah. Right.
They call them something funny up here. It's not Chavs.
Is it not? I don't know what it is up here.
Some Cumbrian word. Maybe I'm wrong. Might be wrong. But I'm sure I've heard them be called something else.
Wow. Right, so let's move on to our travel troubles then. So this week, my travel troubles with Holly. I'm actually going to start with my positive, which is also a travel tip for you guys. My positive this week is probably going to be Holly's negative about me, so it will flow this quite quick easily. My positive about Holly is she's helping me sleep.
Yeah.
Helping me get to sleep.
Sean's a grumpy bugger when he doesn't sleep.
Oh, I'm very grumpy when I don't sleep. Like, when I'm tired.
He's a we've had this conversation. When Sean is not tepid, he's upset.
Do not wake me up when I'm trying to sleep.
It's like a bear with a sore head.
And I've been struggling. It's wind, whatever, the noise as well. There's been and I've been struggling to get to sleep. And
it's because we've been working so much as well.
Yeah, and I'm on split shift, so I start at 8 in the morning and I finish at
9 p.m.
So it's kind of like, as much as I don't work the whole day, we can't really sleep during the day either. So it's so it's long days still. So I'm very tired and I've been struggling to sleep. But Holly's like, we need to try this white noise.
Yeah.
And this is my travel tip. So if you're traveling, again, hostels, places, loud hotels, if you want to get sleep on a plane, train, wherever you are, white noise, practice sleeping with it. Headphones, we put it on your phone.
Spotify now has a sleep timer, which we tried last night for the first time, and it was
good. Like, I don't remember it going off.
No, we put it on for an hour.
We put it on loud, not too loud. Like the only thing.
It was just background noise.
So the science behind it is the fact you're meant to focus. You end up focusing on that noise. So if a sudden bang happens or a crash, you don't really notice it as much
because it's not in the foreground of your mind. The white noise is. Yeah. It's also good for ADHD.
Yeah. So when we first had it on, it's easier to get to sleep because you're not thinking too much.
Yeah, I don't have ADHD, but I definitely have like racing thoughts almost all the time. So even right now when I'm talking to you, there's a song playing in my head on a loop.
What song is it?
Huh?
What song?
Hold Your Hand by Hold My Hand by Jessica Lennon. It's because it was an advert on the telly.
Oh right.
The Darling Hold My, that one. the one that I get told that I look like as well, but we won't go there.
So yeah, it helps.
It helps with all situations. But I used it in Thessaloniki.
Yes, you used
when
it.
we were staying in a hostel. So back to what friend of the podcast asked about last weekend.
Yeah, so
we didn't mention it, but yeah, I used white noise to drown out sound.
Yeah, so
and headphones because I'm a respectable roommate. Would that be the right term?
Yeah.
Someone that you share in a hostel, a hostel mate, a roommate,
yeah,
cellmate.
Unless you're staying in the Fremantle prison hostel, you'd be cellmates.
Yeah, we get it. You've stayed in a prison before, Sean.
Hey.
Most people in the south of England have. Whoa.
Wow. Let's move on to your positive or negative. You can choose which one you want to go for first. Just be aware that I've still got my negative, so then I can use that.
Well, I kind of forgot about my negative until Sean reminded me by telling me his positive. So I'll go with my positive.
Right.
Positive is Sean makes me do things that I wouldn't make myself do.
Right.
So it can be seen as a negative, but also a positive. Like right now, I don't want to film this. I wanted to sit, take my brain out, crochet, and relax because I'm done for the day and I don't have to do any more work. And then he's like, "No, we need to record the podcast today." And I'm like, "Mate, just give me 5 minutes of peace. You just came in the door." And he's like, but I made you lunch. Yeah, you made me lunch because you knew you were going to have to sweeten the deal to make me film the podcast.
This is true. But yeah,
you've done that on multiple occasions.
Yeah, it's travel stuff as well.
If you've watched any of the other videos on YouTube of us travelling, mainly Albania, I think.
No, I think
anytime a hill was involved, so Sofia was definitely one of them.
Right, yeah. Oh,
Albania was
worse. I think
the one in Sarandi was the worst because it was boiling hot. It was 30 degrees. We'd only put on sun cream for the first thing in the morning, so I was sunburnt.
I still blame that taxi driver telling us that we could walk there.
Yeah,
I think he stitched us up.
He really did. It was like a uphill for 45 minutes, an hour.
One of the hottest days we travelled on.
And then we got up to the castle,
which was a restaurant.
It was a restaurant that wasn't open.
And it was just a lookout point, but it was a stunning lookout point.
Yeah, it was worth it, but again, like I said, Sean makes me do things that I wouldn't necessarily do off my own back. I probably would have got a taxi, or just
that would have been the date. That would have been
not seen it.
Also, it was about the journey, not the destination at that point.
All right, Miley Cyrus.
It's all about the climb.
We're gonna get shadow ban's not the word.
Copyright strike.
That's one.
I don't think so, because I don't think that was
shadow ban. We would have got shadow banned if Sean actually filmed the way he was dressed before.
No, I don't think we're going to get copyright strike. That had no tone in it whatsoever. So let's move on to your negative this week. Right. So Holly's
Why am I going straight back to back, but you didn't? Give me your negative.
Mine negative about you. I'm going to do...
All right, okay.
Right, so...
but you just said your negative, which would insinuate that I was to tell you my negative.
Wow.
Instead of saying my negative about you.
This isn't even my negative, guys.
I'm pedantic, get over it.
I'll say that for another week. My negative about you this week is when you're frustrated, you somehow like snowball frustration. So like you get a little bit angry and then you'll do something that makes you more angry and then more angry, and you'll end up like making yourself like this angry ball, and then you just don't know what you're doing with anger.
That's called being female.
You said it, not me. So can you recall the moment that I'm talking about?
Listen, Sean called me one-strop jock. Yeah, that's right, Dad.
No,
it came to in a dream.
So my boss,
Chef calls me jock.
And for some reason I had a dream and I came up with a nickname calling you one-strop jock, which I don't actually call you it. So anyways, this was your strop then.
Okay.
And so we were trying to get this white noise working. And trying to get it on the TV, and the TV wasn't pointing the right way.
I can't sleep with light in the room.
So you pulled the TV, and as you pulled the TV didn't pull enough. So she got more angry, and more angry happened. The aerial came out, and then she was angrier, and it just got worse. And then she pulled it a little bit further, and the HDMI cable broke, the mirror fell on the floor, and then she's standing there like...
neither one of us seen that mirror was going to fall.
No, it's because you tried to put a towel over the top of the TV, and because I told you, no, you can't put a towel on the TV, and you're like, ooh, and then
so why not? Why can't I?
It was like the most chaotic, like, probably like 30 seconds.
Maybe because I was so tired of listening to Sean go, I'm tired. I not slept. Yeah, neither have I, mate, because all I've done is listen to you whinge for the last 24 hours. I'm tired. My eyes are like gravel.
Wow.
That's not even my negative.
So you broke a HDMI cable, that's my negative.
Yeah, and I've replaced it. I've bought it. Get over it.
It's your HDMI cable as well, but that's not a point.
Yeah.
And then, but then let me continue on my negative.
I've got two negatives about you, right?
Wow. And then you promptly moan about the fact that, I can't watch TV for a day now. And it's like it's my fault that you couldn't watch TV.
I didn't say it was your fault. I was upset by the situation, not directly at you. And if you took it on to yourself, that's your own fault.
All right, let's have one of two of your negatives then.
So Sean's mentioned the white noise in question.
Right.
And I've also explained that we put a sleep timer. You know where this is going?
Yeah, I know where this is going.
On our phone. So we both have alarms I have to wake up an hour earlier than Sean because, much as he's tired, I start at 7 a.m, he starts at 8 a.m, right? He also finishes normally before me, other than when he has to, do work.
You have longer splits, but I actually do more hours than you, but...
Build a bridge. So Sean, because we've spoken about this before, catastrophizing, or whatever it's called. I still can't say it. It was episode 2, I think I said this, and I still can't say it. Sean, everything's a catastrophe.
Right.
So Sean has to, in Sean's mind, there's a timer set on a Spotify app. So that means the entire other parts of the phone is just not going to work. So in his brain, at 11:30 last night, I had to set an alarm for a minute's time to make sure that the normal alarm would go off as well as the sleep timer.
Right, so logically...
there's no logic.
So the logic behind this is she had a song playing on Spotify, and I just wanted to know if a time, because the timer, we'd never played around with the timer before. We didn't know the timer was actually going to work or wasn't. So that we took that out of the question. And I thought, if you put an alarm on while the song's playing on Spotify, does the song stop and the alarm happen? It does, guys. There you go. We tested it for you.
Just like if you were playing a normal song, and or you're playing a podcast, for instance, before you go to work, and your phone is smart enough to switch off the other thing and put the other alarm on.
I was testing it.
Not in Sean brain.
I was wanting to make sure it was. I didn't want you to miss work.
The other annoying part of Sean, also coming from the HDMI cable that I broke, is Sean's, I can fix it. I've fixed one of these before, just give me it. No, mate, you can't. Clearly you can't, because I had to buy a new one. He's like, there's so many prongs in this one. Why are there so many prongs? Sean, every single HDMI cable comes as standard.
No, the difference was how ripped apart this HDMI.
But that wasn't my fault. It literally fell out of the back of the PlayStation.
Oh, it wasn't your fault, but apart from the fact you just put a towel over the TV and pulled it.
Sorry that I wanted to get sleep because I was tired of listening to you. I can't win. I can't win. He's like, oh, my positive about you this week is you help me sleep. Yeah. But my negative somehow is me trying to help you sleep.
That's your negative about me. My positive about you is you help me sleep. Your negative
right now, your negative about you is that you exist. Because you're testing my patience. Another negative about Sean, this beard. Sean needs it trimmed. If you're not listening to this on YouTube and you're listening to us on Spotify, Sean has a beard that is rather unruly, and the amount of times this week that I've had to tell him that he's got food in it, it is...
Oh, wow. I just love the fact you're just piling this on this week.
You made me film this when I'm tired.
It's like,
I was done with it, done for the day. I dealt with people.
This podcast is lovely title this week. We've got how to deal with sleep deprived.
How to travel whilst... No, we've done tired, haven't we? Have we done tired? I don't know at this point. We've only done this for 10 episodes. There's podcasts that I listen to that have done 365 episodes or whatever it is, and they can remember every single title.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
It's impossible.
How did you remember that? I can't remember. I can remember what we did last week.
I can't remember what I had for dinner last night. Oh, I can. Night before. No. What did we have for dinner the night before? Exactly.
Peppers and
rice. You made dinner.
I made dinner, that's why. Like always.
I'm making dinner tonight, so shut it.
Right, so this is the point of the show that we get in the people who've written into us.
Can I try that again?
Yeah, this is the
point of the show where we read what people have wrote in, but no one's wrote in, have they?
And your dad said his travel troubles this week.
Did he?
Yeah, your dad wrote in. Or maybe he just talks to me, not you.
Well, probably.
He says, don't drive in roads.
What?
Is it roads, he's at?
He's in Sicily.
That's where he is.
He is in Italy.
He said, don't.
Not drive. Greece.
Don't drive. Oh, because I was thinking of... I was thinking of this.
Why? What's...
I don't know. This is what... Where's my phone? He wrote a comment, and that was his troubles. So I just throw my boxes up in the air.
I'm pretty sure you did. Also, they're on show right now.
Wow. Where is your dad? I've got...
Pants that I washed. Actually, another white. Sean washed them.
He said, "Yep. Here's one, guys. Don't attempt to drive in Sicily." There you go. So,
don't attempt to drive in roads.
No, Sicily.
No, I know, but again, Sean's dyslexia just slipping in and there every so often.
I had word drive, and I knew your dad was on holiday.
And you drive on a road. So you got to roads.
So your dad's travel trouble is driving in Sicily. I don't know what's wrong with him driving in Sicily. He didn't give us much more information.
All the signs in Italian, maybe?
I assume that it's a bit like driving in Corfu.
Chaos. Yeah. Island life is like that, though. Yeah. No matter where you are.
Yeah, it's like small roads, small narrow roads, and cars that pull out on you.
Skye was the same.
Yeah. It's because the locals know how to drive.
Locals here drive like nutcases.
Yeah. So if the roads are crazy for tourists because they're completely new, but locals like know it like the back of their hands.
Yeah.
So they can drive it like that, and they get annoyed with the tourists, and the tourists get annoyed with locals. It is really hard.
World over.
Any place that is quite remote, like islands and districts. Yeah. So our advice for driving on roads. Smaller cars is always better, isn't it?
Yeah. Automatics, yeah. And just take your time. Travel during less busy times when you first get there, so you can get a feel of the roads and kind of feel of what the people are like. That's what I'm just basing this on. What Corfu. Sorry, I've got a catch in this jumper. Yeah. I've made this.
Yeah, Holly makes jumpers and that. So.
I made this one. I've got a catch right there, and it's annoying me.
Right.
Anyway.
Did you want to help your dad out anymore, or is he?
Don't want to help Dad out anymore. Dad's drove world over, so I don't know why Sicily upsets him. I'd like to know why Sicily upsets him, because he's pretty sure you've drove in the Middle East, you've drove in Canada, you've drove in the States, and you've drove all over Scotland and England. So why is Sicily the problem?
What was the Canada road? You said there's one there that's got like 20 lanes or something stupid.
Oh, the 401 is 18 lanes wide at its widest part, I believe. 9 on each side.
Wow, yeah. So yeah,
not as wide as some of them.
We want to know why Sicily's bad. If anyone's been to Sicily and will listen to this, then
maybe because no, don't get upset by this. Sicilians and Scottish people have similar levels of passion. Like they're very passionate people. We're known for, I would always think that I wouldn't call them Italians, because technically they don't like being called Italian. If I remember correctly, they prefer being called Sicilian because it's the football, not the boot.
Yeah. So
they're not aggressive by nature, but same with Scottish people. Maybe they're aggressive drivers.
It's a bit like if someone was driving in Scotland, like they know the roads so much that.
Yeah.
Right, so if you want to write into us and you have travel troubles, if you're not travel troubles, if you have travel troubles, then please write into us. You can leave a comment on our YouTube channel, which is The Funny Backpacker.
And if you've got travel
wow.
If you've got travel truffles, we'll never say no to chocolate.
Oh yeah. You can also email us at
the podcast's name, podcast
troubles podcast@gmail.com. You can.
Sean's going to do all the smart stuff and just link it down and put it on something. I don't know. Put it on the thumbnail or something, so we don't have to say it.
We have to say it all the time. Or you can find us on Instagram, the Travel Trouble Podcast.
Oh yeah. Or you can find us at the Funny Backpacker on any of the other ones, because Sean's greedy.
Right. We do this every week. This was a Funny Backpacker podcast. Originally, it was just named.
What's getting more views?
So, if you guys are interested in our analytics, we've nearly hit 500 views to this podcast.
And this is the 10th episode, so it's not bad going.
Over this before it came out, so yeah. So
oh yeah, true.
It's good. We're nearly at 500. Probably be at 500 by the time you're watching this, guys, at least.
Or listening.
Oh yeah, or listening.
We don't neglect any of our listeners / viewers / watchers / whatever you want to call yourself. It's 2023.
Wow. Back on the
in case you forgot
the whole analytics side of it.
Okay.
The Funny Backpacker channel, YouTube channel, if you're watching this on, has 5 times the amount to the Spotify and all the other listening ones.
That's because there's more videos of me in it.
That's the reason why they're coming here.
Yeah.
I have 600 subscribers on that. That's why.
Sorry, Sean, have any of your family wrote in?
No, my family haven't wrote in.
Have they?
They probably don't even know this podcast exists.
You're going to have to edit that out.
No, they do know it exists. Oh,
Sean makes dentures, right? Before this job, Sean makes dentures for a living, and sometimes I swear it sounds like he's got them in his mouth because he's got too many teeth in his mouth.
talking to actually my family, my niece watches this because she sent us a video and she did the whole soon.
Yeah,
well, I think that's it for this week. I think we've
bored you enough.
We've done more talking about travel than we have this week. We've done. Next week, it will be a good episode. We might have a special guest or the friend of the podcast if we can bother to film it while we're up there. Probably not. Probably won't include her.
We might be hungover the next time we film this.
Oh, should we have Lauren hungover and do this podcast?
Get her drunk, do it.
We should do the podcast drunk.
With Dory.
Oh, Dory. So, before we go, let's give the story of Dory. So, friend of podcast.
Friend of the podcast has 3 different levels of drunk.
Right. Let's see if I can get this. I know Dory is one of them.
Yeah.
Dory is when she's that drunk, she can't remember what she said 3 minutes ago. No, 20 seconds ago.
20 seconds ago, the first time that you met her.
Was it? No, second time I met her.
Yeah.
Second time I met her, she got in my car and we drove to McDonald's. And as we're going, literally there's no queue at McDonald's.
Skipping over the worst parts of the story.
Oh no, I'm skipping this because this bit is the best bit. Okay. So she asked for a McFlurry. And
we'd put the order in, we got to the first window.
No, she asked me for a McFlurry before we got to the window. She said, oh, can I? And then she's like, when we was at the window,
specified
she said,
a type.
This. Oh, yeah, I really want a McFlurry as well. Like, she never thought of the idea before. When we got to the window, she was like, oh, cheeseburger. Oh, I really wish I ordered a McFlurry.
You did.
And then we got to the where I was paying at that window. Then got to the next window where we received the stuff, and we gave her a McFlurry, and she was like, oh, how did you know? And then she woke up the next day with, melted all over.
Melted all over her bed. That's a common occurrence.
What was the best part of the story that I missed?
The reason that we had to go pick up said friend was because she was going to attempt to walk 4 miles home whilst inebriated, and then forgot she was in a car at one point and tried to get out of the car to say goodbye to her friends that were at the side of the road. Oh, yeah. This is when she had other friends.
Right, so that's one of her free drunkenness. This is great, this bit. The other... I don't know the other 2.
The other 2 are pretty standard of women.
Oh, crying? And
the I love you drunk.
And I love you drunk, yeah. Yeah, Dory drunk's the best.
No, it's... Dory drunk you think is the best because you've not been friends with her since you were 16. Dory's fun when she comes out every so often, but Dory can stay in a cage, as far as I'm concerned. Here's looking at you. Okay? And if you're listening, I'm talking to you, mate. Keep it in. Eat something before we go out, please.
So you might get a Dory story next week. You might see Dory. Or we might film this drunk. Who knows?
Either way, we'll actually be not tired, hopefully. Yeah.
So thanks for listening this week, and
we'll see you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday, and I'll see you again.
So